Welcome to the Keisha Podcast Show. This is our daily episode. We discuss the beginning and how that leads to longevity, and how longevity leads to longer lifespans. This is going to be a Q&A section. You've asked questions, and I'm going to provide you with answers. And one of the questions that was asked was, what is my audience? My audience is going to have to be geared 21 and older. Because sometimes in our conversations, when we talk and we discuss certain topics, although I'm trying to keep it to fitness and wellness and health and nutrition, sometimes it can get really in-depth. You know, it can really get very detailed, and that will require a certain audience. So my audience is 21 and older. Someone asked in one of the questions, is it true that fitness, the more you work out, the better the sex? Well, I've heard that. But I think at the end of the day, that is determined between the two people that's involved. I'm not gonna clarify that if you work out and the more that you work out, that makes the sex good. I think that that's gonna always depend on the couple, the two people that's involved. I honestly don't think that the fitness aspect of it has anything to do with how good. So I'm gonna have to say to that no. That no, I do not believe personally that the more you work out, the better the sex. I'm gonna have to disagree with that and say no to that. Why? The answer is no. The answer is no because I believe that that's between the two people that involved. That because you have people that work out profoundly, and that does not mean, I don't want people to be like, oh, I'm going to work out, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, because that's going to make you this, that. No. So I'm going to have to say no. That the more you work out, or the more exercise, the more physical you are, that makes the sex intimately better. I'm going to say no. I'm going to say that that's the overall between the two people involved. I think that's what lovemaking is about. And I think that's what it has to stay focused on. Another question that I have been asked is, am I going to do any live podcasting? Am I going to? Yes. Right now I am live, but I'm doing this daily, so I am probably for the most part going to record my shows ahead of schedule. So you can tune in any time of day, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year, and you can listen to me talk all you want. Okay? And if you have any questions about the podcast that I had just, presented, you can provide the question and I will respond to the questions personally. Another question that was asked was, am I going to have guests on my podcast? Again, that answer also is yes. As I continue to grow and develop that is things that is to come. I'm looking forward to having guests on the show. I want those to be in-person sessions. We may do some virtual, it just depends as well. And I want to be able to video where, it was so therefore it can be a more engaging of a conversation. I'm just getting started. So please hit the subscribe. Please share the link with others. And listen daily. Listen more than once if you would like. I would greatly appreciate all the support. I need and I want your support. I want you to listen to my message. I want it to help you throughout your day, throughout your life. I want you to have an understanding of the things that I'm saying, and I'm hoping that it can impact your life in a positive way, a very special, motivating way that will lead to ultimate changes. Whether that's fitness changes, whether that's overall health changes, whether that's nutrition, when you're eating different, you're eating better, or, overall changes, positive changes that can impact your overall life, where it will lead to that life of longevity, and longevity leads to longer lifespans. And I think that's my ultimate goal. And the overall topic of this segment is titled The Beginning, but it is the beginning to taking back control of your health, your body, you. It's time to redefine, your goals when it comes down to your health. I've been in the healthcare industry for several years, and I am licensed as a pharmacy technician. And working in the pharmacy, one of the things over the last 9 years that I've had to embark is customers coming into the pharmacy and they have, you name the health conditions, they're out there. And being a pharmacy technician, you have to know the in-depth of those conditions. You have to know the in-depth of the medications, whether it's a brand, whether it's a generic. And the one thing that I've always wanted to do is to be able to help people to not have to depend on medication, but to be able to live a fulfilling life. And in order to do that, it requires change. And you have to be able to, be willing to make those changes, because sometimes that's a sacrifice. But when you start talking about your health, your life, you can have a longer lifespan. You can feel better. You can sleep better. You can have more energy. You can, be more vibrant, have more vitality in your life. Then that's my goal. That's my ultimate goal, and what I want to see people to achieve and to accomplish. I am overall 100%. I'm healthy. I don't have any underlying health conditions. I'm not on any medication, but sometimes I do take Nordic for migraines. Sometimes I do have migraines, and my migraines are due to hormones. And that's something I've been dealing with for a long time. But I have learned throughout my life how to adjust, how to deal with it, how to not to allow that to affect, me functioning throughout the day and doing the things that I need to do. Because if you ever had a migraine, or anyone with a history of migraines, then you know how intense a migraine can get. You know how uncomfortable it is if you have a very severe migraine. And I never wanted to be in that predicament where I can't get through my day because I'm having such a horrible, terrible, defining headache. And so, working in a pharmacy and being in healthcare, you kind of learn the different medications that are out there, the side effects, and the things that they do, and how it affects your overall health, your well-being, your body, the side effects. So my ultimate goal is to just help people to be able to reshape, redefine their health for the better. So you can be vibrant, you can have that energy, you can feel more energetic, you can have that vitality, that glow about yourself, you can be smiling and just feel radiant, and that's my goal. And I'm certified as a nutritionist, and I'm also an advanced specialist in fitness. So when it comes down to like exercise psychology, I want people to be able to live better, more fulfilling, healthier lives. I have an ultimate goal. My grandfather, my family, people have set the example of how even though you get older, that it does not mean that you can't still do the things that you need to do. My grandfather, before he passed, he was 84 years old, okay? And he was still driving. He was still dressing himself, cooking for himself. He was still doing everything for himself, okay? And when my great-grandmother died, she was 94 years old. She just died of natural age. That's it. That's all. She still had her own place. She was still on, and she just had to need a little walker just so she can, walk, to help her walk. But other than that, she was still living a fulfilling life. And that's what we're going to do. We're going to live fulfilling lives. I'm going to live a fulfilling life. And I want others to be able to enjoy and live that fulfilling life. We don't have to be confined to the means of society that put these labels. You can overcome those obstacles. You can take back control of your health. You don't have to be dependent on medication. We're going to talk about my garden, help others to get started with their garden, and we're going to live a life of what? Longevity. I'm going to live a life of longevity. I'm going to just say that. I'm going to live a life of longevity. And I'm looking for others that want to also live a life of longevity and that want to embark on my journey, be part of my journey. Welcome to the Keisha Podcast Show. Embracing the journey. Good afternoon, and welcome to the second part of today's podcast. This morning we discussed a Q&A section. I had some clients that had been asking some potential questions, and some of those questions had been asked more than once. So I used this morning's segment to kind of go over and answer those questions. This portion of the segment is called Embracing the Journey. The journey of longevity, the journey of a longer lifespan, and the journey of taking control of your health. I was looking and I came across an article quoted through the Scientific American. And in the article, the title was Humans Could Live Up to 150 Years of Age. Wow. That was a wow moment for me. Because as I sat here and I pondered, humans could live up to 150 years old. It made me wonder how old thus far have the oldest person lived on Earth. In 1997, I'm not going to quote her name due to privacy and respect for the family. She died at the age of 122. 122 years of living life. And this was back in 1997. And can you imagine that here we are in the year 2024? And earlier I had quoted that the oldest man alive is 110. And he still does, everything for himself. He stay by himself. He's still driving, everything, How remarkable that is. When I think about longevity, I think about longer lifespans. That is such a beautiful thing. So as we begin our journey of taking control of our health, that's part of embarking the journey. Doing the things necessary to change the path of our lives so that we can be part of that mission. My mission is to live a long life. And they're saying 150. At this point, at this time, I can't even picture 150 years of age. But just knowing that it is possible has given me that even more motivation, more inspiration to continue to embark in doing the things that I know is necessary to achieve that mission, that goal. You find mobility, strength, balance. When you ask yourself about your mobility, your strength, your balance, your eating habits, your daily routine. And I do remind you, don't forget to jot down 50 things that you do daily. Whether it's out of habit, whether it's in relation to your job, whether it's just part of just your everyday routine. Jot down 50 things, and we're going to discuss that throughout the podcast as, the days ahead. 50. There go that magic number, 50. And now you can add 100. And that gives you 150. So I'm going to think about that. 150 ways to add vitality to your life. What are some things that you can do to add that vitality to your life? You want to be able to eat better, sleep better, have more energy, be more energetic. You want to be vibrant. You want to be healthy. Of course, as we get older, as we get older comes age. But even with age, it comes with how you take care of self. And self means, how do you take care of self now? Because if you start now, wherever you are right now today, and say, I'm going to start today and make changes, then those changes can make all the difference when you get to be 80 or 90, 95 years old. And can you imagine that even at 95, you still able to do for yourself? I'm not saying that you're going to still be driving, but anything's possible. You can move around, you can walk. Yes, I like that. Long lifespans. Healthy. We all have different goals and different things that we want to achieve in life. Let's make it our own personal mission that we want to achieve better health so that we can have a better tomorrow, a better way of life. No one's perfect. But there's also always room for growth. There's always room to improve. There's always room to get better. We can always make tomorrow better than today. Because once tomorrow comes, guess what? It is a new day. It's how you embrace that day that determines the outcome throughout your day. Embarking the journey. Long health. Vibrant health. Having that joy, that excitement, to be happy. You know, you hear people say all the time about that spunk. You got that little spunk in you. You got that little spunk. Do you have that spunk? Think about that for a second. That's one of those old school sayings. All about that, got that little spunk in you. You know, that's like saying you got that spark. You're always, not necessarily saying that you're ambitious, but you're always smiling, you're always happy, you always want to try new things, you always look at the brighter side in things. So what if we just began embracing each day that way? Positive change, positive motivation. If there's any particular topics that y'all would like to discuss, please leave it in the comments, or you can email me, and we can talk about it. I will research your questions to find the best answers if I don't have the answers already. The information in which I'm going to be sharing is going to be truthful, facts, things that's going to help you each day, things you can ponder and think about, relate to. So I just wanted to update you and share that information with you. And that completes today's podcast. Thank you for tuning in to the Keisha Podcast Show. Please subscribe. You're able to listen 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. You can always just hit play as many times as you would like. Share my podcast with others. Tell them to subscribe. It's requiring me to get 100, subscribers, likes, plays, before that I can go into the monetization in order for you to contribute, as far as if you want to pay for a monthly subscription. Your support would be greatly appreciated. Again, my name is Keisha. I'm the founder of Fitness Focus. And again, welcome to the Keisha Podcast Show. Y'all have a great afternoon. Thank you.